A label is one of the quietest cages ever created because it does not always look cruel. Sometimes it's a nickname, sometimes it's a family joke, sometimes as a diagnosis, sometimes as a title, and on occasion, repeated so often that that person begins to carry it. And that is where the matrix of labels begin. Not when someone calls you something once. It begins when the name becomes smaller than your life. A child is called too sensitive, and soon every honest reaction becomes evidence against them. A daughter is called dramatic, and now her pain has to pass through a courtroom before anyone believes it. A son is called difficult, and now his questions are treated as rebellion. A mother is called strong, and now nobody checks on her. A chosen one is called strange, and now every spiritual signal is treated like a flaw instead of a marking. That is the first secret of the label. It does not only describe you, it teaches other people how to handle you. Once a family calls you the problem, every family conflict starts looking for you. Once a workplace calls you intimidating, your confidence gets treated like a threat. Once a friend group calls you too much, you start shrinking your voice to remain invited. Once a parent calls you ungrateful, every boundary you set gets translated as betrayal. And this is why labels are so dangerous. Not because every label is false, but because an incomplete label can become a prison. A diagnosis can help someone receive care. It can give words to what has been confusing. It can open a doorway to support. But when a diagnosis becomes the only way people see you, it stops helping and starts reducing. You are not a condition. You are not a file. You are not a symptom list with a name attached to it. You are a living person with history, wounds, gifts, choices, and a future still being written. The same is true with titles. A title can honor responsibility, but it can also become a trap. The strong one, the responsible one, the spiritual one, the helper, the leader, the parentified one, the one who always understands. At first, the title sounds like respect. Then one day you realize it became a contract you never signed. You are expected to absorb what others refuse to face. You are expected to forgive before anyone repents. You are expected to explain pain politely. You are expected to keep showing up. Keep carrying the room. Keep making everyone else comfortable. While your own soul is quietly asking, when do I get to be human without being punished for it? Some people did not label you because they understood you. Some labeled you because the label made you easier to control, made you less threatening. It marked you with limitations. You became easier to handle, to supervise, to regulate. Because if you are crazy, no one has to confront what happened to you. If you are bitter, no one has to discuss what was done. If you are too sensitive, no one has to become kinder. If you are rebellious, no one has to admit the control was excessive. If you are different, no one has to ask why your presence exposes so much. A label can become a hiding place for the people who do not want truth to enter the room. Family roles are some of the deepest cages because you receive them before you know how to challenge them, before you know who you are. One child becomes the scapegoat. Another becomes the golden child. Another becomes the peacemaker. Another becomes invisible. Another becomes the family counselor without being old enough to carry adult pain. The family role can follow you long after you leave the house. You walk into adulthood still trying to prove you are not the problem, still trying to earn permission to rest, still explaining yourself to people who already decided who you were before you spoke, still overgiving because somewhere in the record of your childhood, love was tied to usefulness. But the chosen are often mislabeled before they are ever understood. Your intensity was called an attitude. Your sensitivity labeled you as weak. Your observation was called suspicious. Your distance was called arrogance. Your boundaries were called disrespect. Your silence was called guilt. And your growth was called acting different. But sometimes you were not changing into someone false. You were leaving the label behind. And that is when the cage starts shaking. Because systems built on labels panic when the labeled person wakes up. The moment you stop answering the old name, the old people get uncomfortable. And it's not because you became wrong, but because your new movement proves the old definition was never complete. You are allowed to outgrow the name that was placed on you during your lowest season. You are also allowed to refuse a role that only benefited people who never planned to protect you. You are allowed to say, that may be what you called me, but that is not what God made me. The matrix of labels loses power when you stop confusing what is familiar to you with truth. You were not born to live inside someone else's unfinished sentence about you. You were not created to become the family's explanation for its own disorder. You were not placed here to keep wearing a name that was spoken over you by people who never studied your soul with love. The label was never the final name. It was only the temporary cage. And the moment you stop defending yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, you begin walking under a higher name. And not the name given by fear, not the name given by injury, or by accusation or family dysfunction. The name written over your life by truth. And once that name rises, the cage loses its authority. Thank you for visiting my channel, and may your soul be blessed. Stay covered, stay conscious, and stay undefeated. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.